Hello again, traders. Right, today we are having a look at this little indie here, a new dashboard that I found. I stumbled across actually by doing some research on Nick's Bollinger Band indie. I just wanted to make sure that I hadn't missed any critical bits and pieces about it, because as a bloke, I tend to, like most blokes do, we don't bother with the instructions. We just load something up or open a package and like one of these DIY things and just throw it together and get most of it wrong. So, I'm talking about flat pack furniture. So I'm a bit like that with indicators. So I'd gone back to Nick's Bollinger Band thread. Well, actually, it's a pivot point thread, and the pivot point indicator is another one I want to get my head around. My thoughts are, and apologies to all the uh, newer traders that stumble across my stuff and expect to see it all lovely like their influencers and pseudo traders that they follow online. I'm nothing like that. The few guys that get me, few people, traders, will be the ones that I am trying to talk to, because you understand the amount of effort it takes to learn to trade and actually trade. Oh, well, I think of that. I mean, some of these guys on Forex Factory that produce these indicators, like Nick does this, and oh god, CJA, another fantastic coder. They've been there decades, some of them. And it occurred to me on the walk this morning, that's why I've made this video really, bit of a pep talk, is that these guys are obviously fantastic traders. They don't need to, in my opinion, they are not the sad little influencers on YouTube, copying everyone's and ripping off other people's stuff just to make pennies. That's a whole new rabbit hole I've gone down recently. YouTube influencers and YouTube channel makers, purely because I'm watching vloggers on travel, and then you get into their conversations. They meet each other. They're all in awe of these people with hundreds of thousands of followers, and they're scratching around for pennies. YouTube absolutely take the pee. I use YouTube just to hopefully grab a few people that want to learn to trade, want to understand charts like I do, as it were, after all the years I've done this work. So anyway, apologies for that little sidetrack there, but the Bollinger Band indie, it's a work in progress, but the fact of the matter is the alerts make money for me. Quite a few had a rant about the alerts, and I admit and agree they are annoying. Yeah, there's no other word for it. But I know exactly why they are going off. They are still a work in progress. They can be edited, because we've got the source code for this, and I want to make a lot of improvements on this once I get settled abroad. And another reason for making this video, and we'll talk about this in a moment, is because as I revisit indicators that I've tested in the past, I've said this many times, so apologies for repeating myself, but it's important. I am so excited to have found this. It's exciting for me. To have found this, it's exciting for me. Why? Because I make a load of money from them. And as I was saying, with they improve my profitability the moment I get my head around what they're telling me. This did, this has, the pivots have. This is the Bollinger Band indie is on here for this reason, but I'll no doubt see a ton of new reasons why that can be made more profitable, or new strategies. The pivots are on here, the SS support and resistance, these levels here are on there. The candle close time is all over the place at the moment, because I'm looking at an out of hours instrument, US 100 in this case, and it's on my chart for a reason, to talk about this. But it occurred to me also that as I look at some of my old videos with old indicators on, the Genesis matrix was one in particular I noticed this morning as I was running through something, an idea I had. That has probably got 1,000 secrets to reveal yet. And the point I had sort of touched on earlier about the guys that produce these indicators, Nick and all of these guys, they are the silent minority, in my opinion, or they could be the majority of silent traders. The traders that have been there year after year, decade after decade on Forex Factory and other forums, have produced these indicators, not just because, in my opinion, just because they can. They've produced them because they've had an idea. If I was a coder, I would be having ideas all over the place, but fortunately, or unfortunately, I cannot code for toffee. So I can edit a few bits and pieces, but I digress. CJA, who does tons and tons of dashboard stuff, has been there for decades. Never talks about, or rarely, to be fair, haven't dug into what he's done in the past that deeply, but I know he's given away thousands and thousands of hours work for free. These guys must be making fortunes. Nick in particular, his indicators are so good and they are so deep and what's the term? I forget the word. Fine tunable. You can change all the colors. You can do all sorts on this. I mean, the pivot one that I haven't even touched on yet is just a monster. It will be a real shame if MT4 ever finally does close down. There were rumors about it 10 years ago and everyone took it to heart and they all jumped ship, and lo and behold, MT4 is still there. It's because so many traders love it and so many traders make money from it. TradingView, yeah, fantastic if you want to pretend you can trade from your phone and stuff. And it is good. It's the app on the phone is really good. But the last thing I want to do, and this is the only reason I don't embrace TradingView, is to be monitoring trades on my phone. That is the death knell to a normal life, in my opinion. Normal life for me. I mean, obviously, younger traders, it's second nature to be wasting 99.9% of their lives swiping left or right on their phones or trying to trade on their phones. It's just horrendously horrible thought for me. So back to the point of this video. These guys are making money. They are the silent minority, majority, whatever you want to call it. They're making indicators that earn them money. It's quite clear. And I hedged on the Genesis matrix indicator, which has tons and tons of gifts to give back to us, secrets to unfold. When you see price react to any of these indicators the way it does, look at the pivots. It breaks through, busts up. It breaks through, busts down. It tests it, breaks through. This is partly why the US 100 is on my charts. Look, test, finally closes through. What happens? It goes up. Closes through, guys. This is just a random chart I chose, M30. But if we go to M15, it will be even more amazing. Because look, it's not closed through. And the first M15 that closed through, that's when all these tests for hours, and this is a random observation as well. When you trust the indicators after watching them for thousands of hours, you're not just taking some stupid influencer's advice online about how he's copied some other trader's ideas. You're listening to someone that has actually watched this phenomena happen, closed above the daily open line. Now, I will be, and have said many times, the first to say that indicators are, the pivots, for example, on one broker will be different from the others. Sorry for the birds making a racket outside, if you can hear that. But, you know, when you see it do this and then move up and close through, or, you know, you can just see the close of that bar there, the green bar, see it close through that and then go up. This is the price line, so that's not a line on the chart. This is the next pivot up, and it comes and tests it. If we put a vertical on here, I have digressed and apologise, but hopefully the guys that are serious about making money trading are still with me. So the lower time frame, there's the vertical. I mean, just crazy. And look at this, the lower time frame on that there, it didn't close on the 5 minute. So even, you know, you could be forgiven for saying, ah, yeah, but you're focusing on one time frame, and then, you know, look at this, close up, zero, you know, I mean, microscopic amounts of drawdown, a pullback, I mean, from the open, so the close and the open. I mean, what can I say? Trade the break of the high of that, and you know, you just get zero drawdown. So what excites me and what occurred to me this morning, and I have said it before, look at this. I mean, look, it held. There's a wick below the level. This broker, this is one thing I noticed, this broker, and this is why I use this FTMO demo, because I've noticed the pivots seem to be more reliable on the broker that I use mainly for my live trades. It's just incredible, actually. These things you notice, you can't put a price on them. So I mean, look at that. The wick below there closed, and then wick below opened, and up it goes. Almost. I mean, it'd be interesting to see the M1 on this. I've really gone off track now, if we've got enough data for this, which I probably will find we don't. Right, we're back to the start. So, because MT4 has an annoying thing, I haven't worked out how to get it to open on my, oh my goodness, M1 closed above the, I mean, I wonder if the M5 M1 was the same. So we're on that level with precision now, where the the close and open is. Go back to M5. It would be uncanny if it was, no, look, the M1 closed through the pivot at a better price if you're taking longs than the M5. That, for me, is mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. And, you know, we've got a positive signal for the long on the TMA as well. On the M5, that is. I wonder what M1 says. Oops. For the alert haters, that must be Bitcoin or ETH, because they're the only ones live at the moment. M5 signal, M1 signal on the TMA2. And that is how, that is a live example of why I trust my indicators so much. The RSI isn't there because there's not enough history on it. If I increase the bars on the RSI, I'll show you what I mean, seeing as we're in ramble mode. Custom indicator RSI 200 bars. So this will lag the computer, so we'll try 500 first to show you what I mean. And there you can see it fills in the, for newer traders, to what I do. So there we have the RSI. Bust, pullback, break and close above. Boom, boom. Through the pivot, you know, all three turned green at the same time. You can't make this stuff up, people. So I know this is a rambling jobby, but this is the sort of stuff that makes me trade with absolute confidence. And if I can scalp with absolute confidence and find multiple trades, look, there's a trade there, and what's this? You know, I can tell you exactly what that is. there is 20 bars, 18 minutes later or thereabouts, there is another brilliant break of the next pivot, and up price goes. 18 minutes, two fantastic possible scalps. And the point I'm trying to make is FOMO is in your head. If you've got to wait a week for your perfect trade because of ICT telling you that's what you got to do, or some other fake guru online, or you got to wait a day or a month or whatever for your perfect trade, that is how you are forced into errors. How you will, because if that trade goes wrong, you're going to want to make your money back. And how can you make your money back if you do that made losing trades 3 or 4 weeks out of 5 or whatever? You're just not going to follow those rules. They're too random. They're too pressure stress based, in my opinion. As a scalper, I realized I have to be able to find trades within minutes of sitting down at my charts, providing I use a solid plan. And my plan has developed from just scalping a pattern to actually using multi-time frame momentum analysis along with multi-time frame candle analysis. Combine the two, and it means virtually every 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, hourly close, I can decide whether there's a good trade there or a bad there trade within moments. And that then brings me down to things like this and this. Because if I look at the time and I look at the ADR and I look at my indicators, this, and this, and I look at this and I look at what resistance has been broken, recent resistance, I can actually find trades, using all of those tick boxes within moments. And that is why FOMO goes away. The psychological side of trading disappears. It has to, because you're not over trading. You're adrenaline trading when you make losses or wins. The adrenaline rush of making a win will make you over trade or keep taking trades. The fear of making that waiting a week for a trade or a day for a trade, or until the market opens, until the silver bullet or whatever silver something or other ICT tells you to wait for. If you fail, and all these risk reward ratio traders, it's bullshit, because if you wait for a 5-to-1 reward risk win and it fails, you're gonna, or alternatively it gets up to 2 to, and you've planned your trades on a 5-to-1 RR. All these people that say, oh, I've got a win rate of 30% and I double my account every year or every day or minute or whatever. It doesn't work like that. I'd rather take a 0.5 win to a 3 loss or whatever and do it 99% of the time. I don't do that, of course. That's just a stupid analogy or whatever, stupid comparison. 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1 is more than possible when you do this, because when that breaks that with that sort of stop loss, whatever. Let's say a stop loss of 40, 423 or whatever that is. Let's say 442 to a win of 85, and then the same thing again. I don't hold my trades, but you can train yourself to do that. I just don't see the point. That's it. End of. So when you've got a template, a set of indicators as good as this, and please don't ask me for the template. You've got all the tools. Build your own template or replicate mine, and that's the best way to learn. I never give away templates. I will if I go pay-per-view or whatever, because obviously that's part of the whole process. And to get you started, newer traders, if they're new to what I do, it will be to get you started from day one, moment one. So, but if I'm doing this for free, then you can do the work, I'm afraid. So anyway, let's get back to this thing. And the reason it's on the US 100 is because US 100, where are you? Again, have a play with this. Go and find it on Nick Bixby's threads on Forex Factory. I don't know whether he's on any other forums. More than often than not, these guys are, and there might be a whole lot. That's a whole new rabbit hole, actually. Might be a whole lot more of stuff from him on there. Anyway, back to this US 100 10-day range, and hang on a sec. Sorry about that. US 100. This is set to the 10-day range, if memory serves me. So yeah. Oh, 5 days. Apologies. Yeah, for some reason 10 days didn't match up. Brokers, as I said, it's a problem with brokers and so on and so forth, and times of opening and closing of days, weeks, whatever. So US 100 matches up on this particular one. Again, you don't know to look for this stuff until, you've got a few months or years or whatever it takes under your belt. Because I might have discounted this whole indicator in the past if I couldn't have matched up the 10 days with the 10 days on Peter Reed's fantastic indicator and the 10 days on Nick Bixby's indicator. So, that could have cost me years of using a perfectly good indicator. So then you've got the current day, which was today, or yesterday, should I say, because we're not open, markets aren't open on the indices, exactly matches up. So when it says it's at 100, and my eyes, red's a difficult colour to see. It looks like 135%. It would be, wouldn't it, if you do the calculations? 135% of that, and I come back into the market, and I see that, and I have to be honest, I haven't quite worked out what this is. I'm presuming it's because it's pulled back below, but I'll work on that. I can, the indicator's got so many settings as well. Let's show you that indicator. Look at the settings on that baby there. All the colors, the positionings. I think it's got alerts on it as well. I'm sure there is an alert on there. I'm sure it alerts you when it gets to its high and low, because it kicked off. Dashboard settings, local. I mean, you can even mess with the server times and all sorts. Oh, alert settings. Here we go. Yeah, so you can set it, cross alerts and all that lot. I know this works with. This is how the pivot point one works as well, and it is absolutely mind blowing. The variations you can set up. So yeah, so back to this. So instantly I could see whether it's gone to its high. If I go to the daily now, this has gone far longer than I thought, but if you put it on twice speed, you're good to go. Go to the daily, get rid of that line. I mean, I'm blown away by those things. I hope you are too. And look at the daily. We can see it went. It must be a percentage distance from the high, I guess. How far back it's gone, maybe. Don't know. Anyway, look at that. So you can see this on the bar candle chart. Massive wick. So when it was near the top, and I've come home from whatever walk or whatever I've been doing, family stuff, I can instantly see it's overextended, which is my go-to thing after I've been away from charts. I can see by how much, and I can, if it's up here or it's near an H4 close, let's put it that way. I've come back for an H4 close, and there it is there. What do I think might happen? It's gone up, so we would look at the H1. So we can see at this point it's reached its zenith. I think that's the right word for that. And then we've had this doji type thing, and then we've gone down. I can see instantly see it's overextended or or high. I don't like that word, overextended, because it's bullshit. Related to uh, momentum and all that sort of stuff, RSIs, that people use wrongly, in my opinion. So anyway, overbought, oversold, that's not a good expression. I hate that one as well. But anyway, you can see, you know, we're into pullback mode. So we've got the overextended ADR. So this will give me an instant ability to see that. In the past, I've used recent candles on the daily chart. That works well. But I might, I might just dump this. I might think it's unnecessary. But at the moment, I can only see it'll earn me money. You can also notice I am reducing my pairs. Has effectively, I'm either trading the yen or the US dollar. And these are the pairs that I like against the yen. But obviously we've got CAD yen, AJ, all sorts of other yen pairs, Chuff J, Swissy, Swiss whatever it is. Swiss franc, I think. Yeah, Swiss franc against JPY. You can have them all there. But these are the three I chose. But really, I'm only trading two instruments now. The US dollar against the indices, stocks and whatnot. A weak dollar means people are selling the dollar to buy the indices potentially, and gold. And weak or strong yen means it'll either go up or down against these. So I've got 7 pairs. Forget about the 2 for today. The cryptos. I'm trading 2 instruments really, and then I get to choose which one I like best on all the other indicators. I haven't dumped the multi-time frame RSI, by the way, just in case some of you are wondering. I've just used this space for this, but I can get both up now. I know by the positioning options I've got here. The RSI doesn't have all that, unfortunately, but because of the positioning options on here, I can then keep the RSI up here and put the new ADR and D lower down. So I'm not really worried about charts over this side. So it's good to go. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, this was a super sonic ramble, and hopefully some of my, what I call ultra followers, if you like, the guys I want to talk to. Thank you guys for your support at all times. All of you know who you are. You guys, I hope you're sort of getting into my mindset now, because I just can't believe how much I'm improving. And going back to the indicator thing, which was the whole point of this ramble and pep talk, if that's the right word. I just look at these things. I just love them. Old daily levels will get tested. That's an old daily open. And it's closed through it, broken above the zones, of course, broken above, came down, tested it. You couldn't make this stuff up. Anyway, yeah, I'm just so excited about all the indicators that because the way I looked at it and the way I thought of it this morning was, I've only tested indicators after the first 3 or 4 years of this. I've only ever tested indicators that even remotely pique my interest. And I couldn't even tell you why at the time, because my mindset was so different 3 or 4 years into trading, which is roughly 16 years ago. And my mindset currently is that I use the expression looking through different goggles. I'm looking at all the indicators that I know are probably 10% of all, 1 or 2% of all the trash out there. The ones that I looked at there's still dozens and dozens of the ones that I looked at, which are high value indicators that I discounted way back then, that I can revisit, just like I revisited this, and this is making me more money, just like I revisited this, Never really was a daily open line exponent, but all the other stuff, the pivots, and I never even found this one, but the pivot point indicator that he made, I had a look at and couldn't make head nor tail of back then. But there's so many of these style indicators, like I talk about the Genesis matrix. There's so many of these style indicators that I like the look of, but couldn't make work properly way back then. That now I've got what I call my ultimate indicators. This, in fact, is still king of the precision indicators, the RSI, histo, bust, pullback, break and close. Now I've got my testers, as it were, and all this lot. It can only just keep getting better and better and better. So apologies to all you indicator haters, and apologies to you people that think I chop and change all the time. I don't. I just improve, and that's all I can say. Even this thing has value, and I mention it so rarely. But I couldn't, I've got this whole setup has become so second nature now that if I took it off, I would miss it. I maybe only use it 1 in every 10 trades, but when I look at it, I instantly know there's the daily open, and this is where I am in relation to it. It's and I only have to a 5-second look at that. I forget this changes the charts. A moment looking at that, and it tells me a dozen things I want to know about my charts and what to trade. It's just mind-blowing for me, the quality of what I've got on here. Anyway, sorry for the ramble. Have a great Saturday, guys. I'm so busy away from charts at the moment that when I find this is an interesting point as well. Another reason I decided to make this video is when I'm away from charts doing stuff, whatever it is, I was really, really busy away from charts yesterday. I miss them so much. And in order to relax, I actually look at charts like Saturday morning. I've had my walk. I've had a lovely rummage around for 5 or 6 hours. I was up at 5 again this morning. I can get a day's work done before most people wake up. And that's what I love about trading too. This is my idea of relaxation. Walking is a necessary brain food for me, but looking at charts and thinking is just better than sleep for me, actually. So I just thought I'd mention that. Anyway, have a wonderful Saturday, guys, and I hope something has rung a bell with you. Bye for now.